I had the opportunity to hold a hula workshop, and we named it Hula, Dancing from Aloha. What does that mean? Is that dancing from hello and goodbye? Aloha means so much more than that. I've spoken about it before. And I came across some voices, some fears that I've been dealing with throughout my whole life. And I want to say I've had a victory. Yay! Yay! There were people of all ages, gender, background, culture that came and helped me through that. They didn't know I was working through that, but they were there and present, and we were all there. I feel this whole community, those online too, we're all one big family, one big community, doing this work together. For me, it's the recent focus of mine has been harnessing, embracing, welcoming the memories of when I've touched into the sacred, when there was no doubt, no voices, no fear. Can you think of some of those times? And then what happens? You go back to reality and the world's like, really? Who do you think you are? Maybe not your whole world, maybe some bits of it. But we're here to say a different message. No, yes, that was real. Yes. Let's change the pattern of being. Let's allow love, truth to come in so life can be birthed. To me, this is the truth of freedom. I was born on the ninth island, Las Vegas. I joke around about that. Where do you go to vacation from paradise? The desert. Yeah. Lights. So both of my parents were stationed there in the military from Hawaii, and they met in the military. Ta-da! Here I am. The first one born outside of the Hawaii Islands. Yeah. I was raised between Hawaii and Las Vegas, literally back and forth, back and forth. There were times I would go back to Hawaii every 3 months because I was in year-round school and we were off every 3 months for 2 to 3 weeks. So what better to go back to my grandmother and grandfather, aunt and uncle and cousin home, and which basically raised me from 2 months old on and off. So I was never really understood or fully accepted in either world. And I didn't really understand or accept either world either. So my teenagehood was really interesting. And that on top of that, on top of natural teenage angst and exploration, questioning, doubt, but then passion and drive to be in the world at the same time. So, fast forward a bit to today, there have been times I've dove into the past of the Hawaiian, the Polynesian culture, and I've loved hula always. I've danced in very sacred ceremonial places. I've danced in Waikiki, being paid. I wasn't paid. I should have been paid. Everybody else was being paid. I was doing it for free. I found out later they were being paid. But it was at that kind of stature, very structured, very, you know, um, and everything in between. Virginia Beach, big stages, the dome, and it's come to a place of like, this is who I am. This is hula, living aloha, dancing with my world, not being danced by my world. I've had a fear of teaching this because I'm not a kumu hula. No, I'm not, but I'm a teacher of aloha, and I think we all are. I know we all are. Allowing the spirit of life to come through this heart, this body, this mind, this breath. We can create together. So in these last few days, there have been 15 or so of us, in and out of 2 sessions a day. We took a verse at a time on a hula. And we said, okay, what does this feel like? This gentleman, Keahi Ewa, wrote this beautiful song about his memory, about being with his grandmother's house on the beach in the ocean, all the ocean in Maui. Every island is beautiful, but Maui is so beautiful. There's a remembrance, right, of the beloved, the beautiful beloved. You notice I started small, beloved, but it's still sacred. And then the immensity of it, bringing it in. We choreographed that together. People of all ages, genders, and cultures, and not being held back by the history of humanity. Yes, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of history, colonialism, and all that stuff, but I'm here to move it forward. I feel like that is our mission. That is, but I was told from elders, they said, you were born and raised between two worlds. You need to be the bridge. Are we ready to be the bridge for our worlds? It may not be that dramatic, but there is a past. There is a pattern of being that is, that has been. And are we going to be that bridge to the new? I think we are. That's why we're here. So thank you for doing that individually and together collectively.